What message are you sending? DA receives backlash over its burning SA flag election TV ad. The Democratic Alliance DA is receiving backlash over its election TV advert over South African flag burning ahead of the elections. The advert was initially released to get more people to vote for the official opposition, but was not received well by South Africans on social media, stating that burning the flag was disrespectful and sending a wrong message. In the advert, a South African flag is burned to ashes with a background voice narrating how the DA would save the country from the fire.
In this election, for the first time in 30 years, the ANC will lose its majority, but they will do anything to stay in power. Imagine a coalition between the ANC, the violent EFF, and the Zuma faction. Under this coalition of corruption, life will only get worse. This election is about survival. Unite to rescue South Africa. Vote DA.
The voice continues to bash the African National Congress ANC, the violent economic freedom fighter EFF, and the Jacob Zuma faction, saying, under this coalition of corruption, life will only get worse. According to the DA, the advert showed how the country was slowly being destroyed while people are watching. Launching the advert over the weekend, DA leader John Steenhuisen said the burning of the flag can be stopped only if his party was put to power. We can stop our flag from burning entirely and reweave its threads to represent the consolidated dream of a united and prosperous country that we all share, he said. But South Africans were not buying into that, taking to X, formerly Twitter, to express their grievances. The burning of our flag is ill-advised, seems to show disrespect and disloyalty to the flag, which to many of us is more than a flag, but a symbol of triumph against apartheid. In some countries, it's even a crime to burn the flag. Former public prosecutor Thuli Mandosela said, "This just doesn't sit right with me." So the DA's top leadership actually thought, hey, let's burn the SF flag for our TV ad. Two issues. One, burning a national symbol of unity. The public outrage is fully justified, at Clayson Moniela said. Two, a bold but false claim that for the first time, the ANC will lose its majority. It is stated as a fact, but the election outcome is yet to be determined. If they had said, opinion polls suggest that the ANC will lose its majority, it would be acceptable. Such lies discourage voters and fuel apathy. Burning our flag can never be right. An advert is a marketing tool. What message are you sending? Etmalusi Boy said. However, some users commended the DA on their advert. That's a good ad by the DA. If the ANC and EFF and MK govern this country, we'll be on fire. That's not what we deserve. We deserve clean, good, pro-market governance. Etpumlani Majosi said. I'm not a fan of the DA, but it's actually quite clever. The unburning of South Africa. Obviously, a lot of people took offense within the first few seconds and took straight to social media, at Echo Calypse MM said. Besides all that about the advert, having made significant strides with the Gamagara municipality in the space of just 4 months, the DA vows it is ready and capable of rescuing the remainder of the Northern Cape. The assurance was given by DA leader John Steenhuisen while on the campaign trail in the province at the weekend in the run-up to the national and provincial election taking place in the few weeks' time. Speaking of residents in Magojaneng village outside Kuruman, Steenhuisen said a DA-led government was desperately needed in the province, especially given the ANC, with the assistance of the EFF, had failed the people in numerous communities through the years. Steenhuisen said while communities such as Magojaneng were located in a dry region, they were blessed with the presence of natural spring water, the Eye of Kuruman, one of the largest natural springs in the southern hemisphere, but this was not being taken advantage of effectively by the current governing party. This area should literally be an oasis in the desert, with clean water provided by Mother Nature as all that is required in the infrastructure that transports this clean water into people's taps and for sewerage to be cleaned. The ANC-led GS Honyana local municipality, however, has failed to take advantage of this natural blessing. It has failed to repair the sewer pump station, it has failed to clean and maintain the canals, and it has failed to maintain the sewerage works, the party leader said. Steenhuisen said that instead of being a blessing to people and farmers in the area, the Eye of Kuruman had become a curse, with its water contaminated by the corruption of the ANC. Due to this, he said, taps regularly ran dry in Magojaneng for weeks and even months at a time, with the worst of it being that communities were still being forced to use pit toilets. This has not only robbed people of their dignity, but poses a risk to the lives of our children. Over the last 30 years, the ANC has manipulated the people of the Northern Cape with promises they never intended to keep. These include the new schools they promised for the villages of Khasehonyana, that despite over 85 million rand being budgeted, construction ground to a halt in November last year. However, under their leadership, with the appointment of Henriette du Plessis as the mayor of Gamagara last year, she had, during a short period of 4 months, demonstrated the significant difference the DA leadership had and could deliver to the rest of the province. Through the cancellation of luxury mayoral vehicles, removing the mayoral driver and VIP security, and refusing to move into the expensive mayor's residence and opting for it to be rented out, Steenhuisen said Du Plessis managed to run a budget deficit of 47 million rand into a surplus of 19 million rand. Further, Du Plessis had also used fundings from the Department of Environment, Forest and Fisheries to create 215 new jobs to clean Durban, Olifantshoek, Mapoteng and Katu. The DA said that unlike the ANC where jobs were only handed out to ANC cadres, there was no cadre deployment and all workers were appointed on a fair basis under their leadership. In fewer than 4 months, the DA was able to make a visible difference in Gamagara, but the ANC and EFF were so embarrassed by the visible progress that people were seeing that they brought an illegal motion of no confidence in Mayor Du Plessis. He added, the first lesson is that the DA can rescue the Northern Cape. Imagine what we could do for this whole province with a full 5-year term. DA leader John Steenhuisen has also reassured the people of KwaZulu-Natal that jobs will be created if the DA rescues the opportunity to govern nationally during his Freedom Day speech in Durban on Saturday. Steenhuisen lamented the governing party's failure in job creation. Instead, he said the DA would redeem the dignity of South Africans by esteeming and placing the state's economy status in line with the Western Cape's caliber. The DA is the custodian of the province. The official opposition party commits to create 2 million jobs if elected as a part of the manifesto policies. Steenhuisen claims that in Western Cape, the DA created 350,000 new jobs in a space of a year. Over the past 5 years, the Western Cape created nearly 8 out of only 10 new jobs in the whole of South Africa. The 8 other ANC provinces collectively only created 2 out of every 10 new jobs. He said the governing party dangled job promises to manipulate people as part of electioneering. The DA had constructive and tangible implementation of economic freedom, he said. Among these plans, combating youth unemployment, especially for graduates, and adequate financial literacy of state funds would be the party's main priorities for economic growth. He said 32.1% people are unemployed in the country as reported by Statistics SA for the fourth quarter of 2023. 9.6% are unemployed graduates. This has saturated the job market, where unemployment and underemployment has befallen on graduates who earn close to nothing. Yet, Steenhuisen states the Blue Party is set to establish a youth employment opportunity certificate to give unemployed youth a competitive edge in the labor market. With the certificate, the DA will declare war on youth unemployment. The certificate will empower youth people who have been jobless for more than 12 months to choose to exempt themselves from sectoral wage agreements, which will make them more attractive to employers. Steenhuisen said that financial literacy is imperative for economic sustainability. He alleged the ANC is using 1 rand out of every 5 rand in taxes to pay off its 5.2 trillion rand debt. Finance Minister Enoch Godongwana told the National Assembly during his medium-term budget policy last year that the country's debt is expected to rise from 4.8 trillion rand for the 2023-2024 financial year to 5.2 trillion rand in the next financial year. By 2025-2026 financial year, debt will exceed the 6 trillion rand mark. The DEA proposed financial literacy of state funds and will create close to 450,000 new jobs. Additionally, the 5.2 trillion rand can be recouped to develop infrastructure, job creation, enable access to water and sanitation, and reduce food insecurity. To stop wasteful spending, the DA will introduce the fiscal rule that links how much new debt the government can take on to economic growth, he added. And that's it from INJIBS Network. Stay tuned to our celebrity and news.